What's up, guys? I'm finally back from Chicago. Just got back a couple days ago, and I wanted to make this video to share with you my experience and tell you about how my first time in Chicago went. I had an awesome time. So let's get into it. So my brother asked me if I wanted to go to Chicago this past weekend with him and our mom, because he was attending what's called Collecticon. It's the largest anime card show pop culture convention in the country. He was a vendor at the show. He's been to a bunch of them all over the country, actually, because he has his own Pokemon card online shop, and then he does these shows all the time, like almost every other weekend. His name's Atomic TCG. I'll put his links in the description to his channel and stuff like that, because he also makes content on TikTok and Instagram when he's at these card shows and stuff. So go check him out. We actually stopped at the convention center on when we first got into Chicago, so he could check in, and then we could set up like his shelf and stuff. So I took a little video of just the convention center when it was super empty, and to show like how empty it looked compared to how it was going to look the next morning, which I'll show you later on. But anyway, we were like smack dab right in the center of the convention center, so it was pretty cool. But then we were still kind of early to check into our Airbnb, so we went and got like an early lunch, or I should say a late lunch at Chili's, and then we just checked into the Airbnb after that and hung out there the rest of the night and watched the Tigers lose a nail biter, extra innings, 15 innings to be exact, to the Seattle Mariners. It was a really great game, which they would have won, but yeah, it was a pretty uneventful Friday. So we got to the con a little early on Saturday before they started letting people in, so we could help my brother set up his table. And then after that, I was able to go walk around and explore a little bit, because there was like 80% of the vendors were probably Pokemon cards, and then everything else was like 3D printed stuff. Some people were selling like old video games, stuffed animals. There was a t-shirt vendor that I got a couple cool shirts at. Um, but since it was my first time at a con, I failed to realize that they do celebrity signings, and they had a whole section of where they had celebrity voice actors and just celebrities in general that would set up that you could purchase autographs from and selfies or whatever they may offer. So the day before on Friday, I had noticed on their website, because they show who's all going to be at each con. I noticed that the voice actor for Vegeta, one of my favorite characters and one of my favorite animes of all time, DBZ, was going to be at the convention signing autographs and stuff. So we went to Target that Friday after we went out to lunch, and I picked up this really cool Vegeta action figure that I was able to get signed. You can actually kind of see it back there. I'll put some pictures up on the screen. But I also was able to get a selfie with him. While I was waiting in line, I was watching people ahead of me go up to him, because I wasn't sure what to expect. I thought I was gonna have to like take a picture in front of the table and like kind of like make it not look so awkward, with him like kind of behind me. But I first noticed when somebody did get a selfie, he stepped out from behind the table, actually took the phone from the person and took the pictures himself. He took 7 pictures with me total, and he also made sure that I thought they looked good before he walked away, or before I walked away, I should say. Um, but yeah, he was so awesome and so worth it to meet him. I told him it was such an honor to meet him, and he said, "I too am a god," and I just thought it was funny that he like kind of made like or said a quote to me from Vegeta from the show, and in the moment I failed to realize he had actually written it on the figure itself, which you actually have to pay extra for, but he just did it, and I didn't have to pay for it, so that was really cool. But yeah, it was awesome because he really took the time with each person and uh, really like made it worthwhile, and I thought it was really worth my while too. His line was definitely the longest line out of everybody's. The whole weekend I was there, every time I'd walk around and walk in that area, I could see he just had the longest line, and he was there all day. so props to him. I really appreciate his time and taking the time with fans and me especially. That was really cool. Overall, I only waited in line for about 2 hours. Since I was lucky enough to be inside before the con actually opened. I wasn't too far behind once I first got in line. But yeah, so it was awesome. Real quick, I just wanted to show a quick little video of what the con looked like midday on the first day, just to show how large the crowd was and how large of a show this actually was. It was awesome though, even though it was packed pretty much all day, both days too. But we still had a great time. It was a great show, and I'm glad I went. So that night after the con, we went out to dinner with my brother and a bunch of his friends. They picked this place called Fat Rosie's. It was this Mexican place located in Rosemont, Illinois. It's like just outside of Chicago. And it was located in this little place they called an entertainment district. I'll show some pictures of it right now, but they had this like turf field in the middle that people were like running around on and hanging out on, and they had benches all around it for people to just like hang out and wait, because we had like a 45-minute wait for a table. So we just hung out there. They had like a couple other restaurants in the area too. There was a comedy club, a piano bar across the street behind us. But it was a really cool little area. It made me think of like what they're trying to do with like downtown Detroit and stuff. It's pretty cool. So as soon as we walked into the restaurant, I noticed to my right was this really adorable um, like donkey. It was like one of those penny pony riding machines. I obviously did not try to get on it. I was not about to try to break that or anything, but I just thought it was really cool and not something you see all the time. We get to our table, and the first thing we noticed on the front of the menu was this picture that one of my brother's friends pointed out was probably the whitest thing he's seen in a Mexican restaurant. So I thought that was pretty funny. Looking through the menu, one of the things I noticed was that they had what they called kick-ass fajitas. I just thought that was kind of funny. I'd never seen a restaurant put something like that in their menu. Um, but I didn't end up getting them. I wasn't like super hungry, but I had also gotten tacos from this place at the con earlier in the day, and they just weren't great. So I wasn't really feeling tacos or anything. I ended up getting cheese, or I'm sorry, not cheese, a chicken quesadilla. Um, that was pretty big, as you could see from the pictures. But I also noticed on their menu that they had mahi fish tacos, and I've always wanted to try a fish taco. I've never really had one, especially mahi is really good. So I got that. Everything was delicious. My mom ended up getting a steak quesadilla, which I ended up trying some of it, and I kind of wish I'd have gotten the steak because the steak was actually really good compared to the chicken. But I'm still glad I got what I got. Also, when I got my drink, they gave me a really long bendy straw. I thought that was pretty cool. So I figured I had to make a really cool, like, twisty thing with it. But yeah, overall, the dinner was great. I really enjoyed the restaurant itself and the atmosphere and the decor and everything. But for some reason, like halfway through our dinner, all of a sudden, this really loud like not dubstep, but just like dance club music started playing with like crazy transitions and stuff, and it was just so loud in there. It was kind of off-putting. We weren't expecting it, but it was whatever. I took some videos of what I think was the DJ or whoever was doing it in the back or whatever. Because where I was sitting, I didn't really have a good view of the whole restaurant behind me and stuff. But yeah, it was just kind of weird. And then the table that was behind us after they left, the restaurant staff actually pulled the tables and chairs away and kind of opened it up as like a dance floor. And we're trying to get people to come out and dance, but like we were pretty much done with our dinner and we're getting ready to leave anyway, so we weren't gonna do that. That was pretty much the end of our night. Everybody was pretty exhausted from being at the con all day and having a pretty early start to the day as well. So we just crashed at the Airbnb for the rest of the night. The next day, though, was day two, final day of the con. Um, Before we went, we stopped at Target so that I could get something else to have signed because I noticed that Charles Martinet, the voice actor for not only Mario but a ton of Nintendo characters, um, was doing signings and stuff. Apparently, he's at like all these cons, which is pretty cool. But yeah, it was really awesome to meet him. When I got in line, there was only a few people ahead of me, so I didn't have to wait long at all. He also had a lot of merch on his table that you could buy. It was pre-signed and whatnot. Like some Japanese N64 games and some manga and this really cool vinyl record. A lot of really expensive stuff, I might add, but I just thought it was really cool. But yeah, he you could tell he just like loves doing the voice, and it's a shame that he had to retire from it. I understand, you know, he is getting up there in age, but he still loves doing it. You could tell because of the way he was doing it to like the people in front of me and stuff. This guy had gotten a copy of Mario 64 signed, and he said thank you for playing my game in the voice and stuff. And like I just thought that was really cool, and I geek out a little bit, especially like seeing that kind of stuff. And like Mario was just like a big part of my childhood and stuff, so it was really cool. I also got to take some pictures with him. One of his aides took the photos for us because he ended up doing these cool poses. He only took 3 pictures with me, which is fine, but it was still really awesome to do that and have that keepsake and memory. As you can see, I had him sign this Mario figure that I got from Target. Um, it was really cool that he wrote a message on there like that. He asked me who it was for, and I said it was for Steven. And he said Super Steven, and then wrote all that on there and stuff, and then wrote the woohoo above Mario. I thought was really a nice touch too. So it was awesome. After that, we pretty much had the whole rest of the day at the con to do whatever. So I decided to walk around some more and see what else the con had to offer. Because there was just so many vendors. There was hundreds of vendors. We didn't get to see all of them the first day. I had found this guy that was selling a bunch of custom, I assume, Lego minifigures. I don't know if he made them himself or where he got them from because he had a ton of them. I only took the couple pictures of his table, but he had like a whole long table full of them. Um, he was selling them 5 for $20, which was an awesome deal. I ended up going back to his table twice, so I got like 10 figures. I think 11 total, but yeah, I got tons of figures. I could have bought a ton more if I really wanted to, or had the means to, but I just couldn't keep spending money over there. But I'll show you some of the figures that I did get. I do have one back here as well. This alien minifigure I thought was really freaking cool. Just so much detail on it and everything. I also bought this really cool Gyarados, like bendy plush from another vendor. They had a Rayquaza one too, but I thought this one was really cool. He was only $20, so I had him around my neck a little bit during the con. But yeah, I thought it looked really cool sitting here on top of my Lego display. While we were walking around, there was this person in a giant Pikachu costume, and also a person in a giant Eevee costume. They were wandering around and they ended up like fighting each other for some reason, and they were like really going in on each other. Like when we walked up on it, as you could see, the Pikachu was beating the crap out of the Eevee. I only got like a quick little video of it because this guy walked right in front of me as I was trying to film it, but there was also a ton of people around. But yeah, I don't know that they were going pretty crazy. After that day at the con, we decided to just stay at the Airbnb for the night because we were planning on going to downtown Chicago the next day on our last day there. Since I had never been and I'd wanted to see some things, mostly like the Bean and the McDonald's headquarters, which I know has like I had heard that had like global menu items and stuff. So we just stayed in and watched the Lions lose an awful game to the Chiefs. And I also got to try Raising Cane's for the first time. I got the big box, I think it was called, which was like the four tenders, with the fries and coleslaw and bread. We didn't realize it till after we got back that they didn't give us the toast that they were supposed to give us, which was unfortunate. But I ended up getting Cane's again the next night, because I thought it was just so good. Then and They ended up giving me the toast that time. But yeah, it's the chicken itself was really good. It was juicy. The Canton sauce itself was really good too. I don't understand really why people go crazy over it, but it is really good. I definitely get it again. The next day on the drive in to Chicago, I took some of these pictures of the skyline I thought were really cool, and also some of this graffiti that I saw on one of the streets I thought looked really neat. Our first stop was lunch at the McDonald's headquarters. It was really cool to see this place in person. Right when you walk in, there's the glass doors, sliding doors, where it was like all just like translucent red. I thought it was really sweet looking. So I took a couple pictures of that from the inside of it and outside. And then we got over to where some of the kiosks were to order, and I really liked this world map that they had above the kiosks. It shows where all the McDonald's are and stuff in the world. So this is what the global favorites menu looked like at McDonald's. I ended up getting the Big Arch Burger. It was kind of like a Big Mac, but it had its own special sauce on it called Arch Sauce. It was like a tangy, tomatoey kind of sauce. I thought it was pretty good. It also had crispy onions on it and regular slivered onions. It was kind of too much. I wish I would have just gotten it with the crispy onions on it. But overall, I thought it was really good, even though it was kind of a messy burger. I also got a Biscoff McFlurry. That was really good. I love Biscoff cookies. It had like pieces of the cookie and then like Biscoff like spread swirled through it. It was delicious. My brother got what I think they called them like pops or something. They're like little donut puffs that had filling in them. One of them was a Biscoff one, so I got to try that as well. Could have used more filling, but the donut itself was really good. It was real soft. I also noticed when we sat down at the table, all the tables had these wireless phone chargers on them. I thought was really neat. My phone case is a MagSafe case, so it had a magnet in it too, so it was able to like stick right to it. I thought was pretty cool. Our next stop in Chicago was to the Bean. Driving and parking in Chicago was crazy. I'm glad my brother drove because I would not have been able to do it. But yeah, we drove around for a while trying to find some parking. I guess there was a marathon over the weekend too in downtown Chicago, so there was still a lot of people around and like they were cleaning up and stuff from it. So I think that was part of why it was hard to find parking. Plus, I think it was a holiday too, so there was just people all over. We finally parked and made our way over to the Bean. This thing was massive. There was a good amount of people over there, but we were able to get right up and take pictures and videos and just take it all in and just and experience it firsthand. We also got to walk in this underneath it through the center of it. Looking up at that was pretty crazy and seeing all like the way the reflections are and stuff. Kind of hard to figure out where you were in all of it, but yeah, it was really cool. After that, we walked around downtown a little bit. His friends wanted to go to the mall that was there. I didn't get anything besides some chocolate covered potato chips from this place called Royce Chocolates. Some place that his friends wanted to go to. It's like a Japanese chocolate place. They were pretty good, but a little expensive. Like 25 bucks for only like a barely 7 ounces of chips, but they were still pretty good. We didn't really do much else downtown besides walk around and stop at a few thrift stores that his friends wanted to go to. I was just happy to tag along, even though I wasn't planning on purchasing anything. There was this one store that had some pretty cool old school basketball jerseys. Like I found a old school Toronto Raptors Vince Carter jersey, like the purple with the Raptor on it and stuff. I thought was really sweet. But I think they wanted like $50 for it or something like that, which was just crazy to spend it at their store when I could just buy something like that for basically the same price, brand new. Um, but we ended up going to round one later that night. Me and my wife have been going to round one a lot more recently around us by our house. So I was really excited to go to one in Chicago, especially because my brother and his friends like to go there when they do these cons and stuff too, when they go all over the country. I gotta say, this was probably one of the smaller round ones I've ever seen. Even though it was like it looked like it was attached to a mall or something, but it was still seemed pretty small to me, especially compared to the one that's by my house. Um, I also did not really win much at all. I'm usually pretty decent. I've been playing the call machines. I'm usually pretty decent at them. Um, but I only managed to win a couple, like the little plush, like keychain type figures. You can see one of them back here. I got this really cool Godzilla. I have a couple of them already, but I like this one because he's got like the dizzy eyes or whatever it is. But yeah, so for some reason the claw machines were not hitting. So it was okay. I had still had a good time, but wish I would have been able to win a couple more prizes. Speaking of Godzilla, they have this not coin pusher, but it's got marbles. It's the same concept machine at round one that I've been playing at the one by my house, and then they had one here, and they have the cards that you can collect from them to get tickets from. So I was playing that for a little bit too. So I took a little video of that as well. That was pretty much it for Chicago. I had a really awesome time. I'm really glad I went. I'm really glad I got to experience everything that I did and got to see. And especially my first con ever, that was really awesome. Huge shout out to my brother for inviting me and letting me tag along. I'm glad I got to meet a bunch of his friends too, because they were all really nice, real genuine people, were just real awesome, friendly. But yeah, it was a great time. I can't wait to go again. Hopefully, we can go to another con, or I can go to another con with them. If it's in Detroit or something, or maybe not, just Chicago, somewhere else would be awesome. But yeah, so thanks for watching and listening to me ramble on about Chicago a little bit and my time there. Really appreciate it. So if you made it this far, thank you. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and remember ELE, everybody love everybody. Peace.